It's a tricky thing to study a brain at play. For one thing, you can't use human brains. Not many parents would sign up to have their kids' brain fiddled with. But rats? They're a different story. One of the main scientists who studies play in rats is a guy named Jaak Panksepp. Some people also know him as the rat tickler. You'll find out why a little later.
Every human being knows what play is. Every child knows what play is. I can recognize it in a snap. The problem was, can you bring that into the laboratory?
Jaak wanted to know where in the brain play comes from. Is it a learned activity that's developed in the outer cortex, the most recently evolved part of the brain? Or is it a basic, ancient function of the bottom part, like eating and sleeping and sex? Jaak came up with a pretty straightforward way to answer that question. What he did was surgically remove the cortex from the brains of young rats, and then he waited to see if they still wanted to play with their full-brained friends. They did! They tussled and wrestled just like normal rats, and that's essentially what rat play is.
It's like professional wrestling. Why do people enjoy professional wrestling? It's all theater, we know that, but we still enjoy it.
The rats would even chase a human hand that had played with them, hoping for more play. And that is how the rat tickler got his name.
I had 2 young kids that love tickle games, so I just, made it smaller for a rat.
Since even rats missing the most highly evolved layer of their brains sought out play, the experiment showed that the play impulse must have come from a deep and primitive part of the brain, one that's most likely shared with all mammals and lots of other animals too. To be in such an ancient place in the brain, Jaak and others think play must be vital to survival. Otherwise, the playful rats would have died off a long time ago. Playing rats would presumably make easier prey for watchful predators. But they didn't die off. Instead, they thrived. Why? Scientists still disagree about that, but Jaak and a lot of others think that the reason play exists is because it develops what in humans we might call social skills.
As soon as you begin to play, you begin to learn about the social world.
Jaak's rats are learning about the give and take of interactions and finding out where the limits are. Play may be the mechanism that allows animals to learn to live in social groups and to navigate complex hierarchies and social situations.
Play is a very valuable, it's not just superfluous, it's a very valuable thing for child development. And we as a culture have to learn how to use it properly, and we have to make sure our kids get plenty of it.
Jaak Panksepp witnessed what might be the best anecdotal evidence for his theory when he watched what happened in the lab when 2 boy rats were put in a room with a single girl rat. The one boy rat who had had lots of play growing up was basically the rat version of George Clooney. The other guy didn't stand a chance.